Well, hello guys, this is Wayne Hatter from Your WordPress Made Simple. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to add functionality to my client site here. Her name is Eleanor, and what she posted in my WordPress group is that she wants to be able to change the background to an image or color, into a poster page. And she doesn't know how to do it. All right, so we're going to go through the steps and pretty much try to accomplish this for her. Okay, well, actually, we're going to accomplish it for her. Now, I have no idea about this site. I have just very little knowledge about the theme. I haven't looked at the code or anything like that. But with the skills and experience that I have, I pretty much know the approach that I'm going to take in order to give her the functionality to be able to change out this white area that you see with either color or a background. So let's go. Let's do inspect element. Okay. So we are looking at this area right here where you can see that's all highlighted. So it looks like it's the home even. And if we look over here, home even, we can see that the background is white right now. So let's make sure that we are on the correct element here. So we'll just make it the color CCC, which is a grayish color. And there we go. So now we have our target on what we want to change. So let's head back up here to the top. And then we're just going to leave this as it is right now. We're just going to leave the web inspector open and just leave it in the state that it's at. Now, here's the back end of the site. I just logged in right before I start the video, and I don't know the theme, but right now I can see the theme is called Parallax Pro Theme. Okay. All right. That's pretty much all I need to know at this point, because now I'm going to switch over to the actual FTP. So I'm going to open up my Dreamweaver, and I'm already connected to the server. And let's see if we can find her theme. Let's see. It should be in WP Content, Themes, and there it is right there, Parallax Pro. So the first thing I'm going to look for is a header.php file, which it doesn't look like we have. So I am thinking that this is a child theme of Genesis, and let's just confirm that because I've seen this before. So let's actually go to the editor, and then we'll look at our CSS file, and there it is. It's the template of Genesis. Okay, so this theme that we're using is an actual child theme of Genesis. So in this case, we do not have a header.php file, but that's okay. I'm not going to recreate the header.php file. I'm just going to work and inject the code that we need into the header by using the functions.php. So I'm going to open up functions.php. Yes, I want to bring it all down to my local machine. And here's all this code. I don't really care about all that. So I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom. And then I'm going to create a new function. So we're going to say function page styles. That's what we'll call it. And then we'll close off our PHP, and we'll open it up again. And this is just, some code that needs to be written in order to make sure that we get that information into the header of our theme, okay? So that we can change it out for that specific page. So I'm not going to go over too much about what I'm doing here in the PHP, but just so you know, I am going to add some inline style to the actual header of the theme itself. So when she wants to change out the color or the image or whatever she wants for that actual page, then she'll be able to do so for whatever page that she's on. So she'll be able to manipulate that as much as she needs to. So I'm just going to finish writing this code. Actually, I'm going to test this code first. I'm just going to create just a dummy class. And I know this class doesn't exist. I'm just making this up. I just want to make sure that we are sending this information to the header like we want to. So I'm just going to say red. And all we're doing right here, we just want to make sure, like I said, is that we are sending this information to the header. Because once we send it to the header, then this style will override anything that's in the style sheet for this actual page that we're going to be working on. So we're going to say action. Now I know this may be a little bit overwhelming for some of you guys that are not techie, but what I the purpose of this is just to let you know that you can accomplish and have workarounds for anything that you want to do in WordPress as long as you know what you're doing, right? So that's why it's important that you seek out professionals and experts in their field that actually know what they're doing with WordPress so they can get you the results that you need. All right, so from here we're going to go WP head. Okay, and then we need to pull this function in right down here. Okay, so now we're going to save this, and then let's go back to the site. You know what I want to do? I'm going to keep this and I'm just going to duplicate this page so that we can see it. So as you can see, it's white here, but it is gray over here because we just did some testing here on the actual background. So I'm going to do Control F5 so that I can clear my cache. And then I'm going to right click and then view page source. And what we're looking for, we're going to be looking for this right here, okay, in our header. So let's just zoom in a little bit. Let's scroll down if we see if we can see that code. Should be in here. It should send it. It should have sent it to our header. And I don't see it yet. So we may have to do another hard refresh. So let's go Control F5 again. And then let's see. I know it's got to be here. It has to be here. So now, oh, there it is. So there's what we just wrote. So you can see that that matches up with what we have here. So that's a good sign. Now, let's move on to the next step. We are going to add a plugin that we can use. So let's go to the back end of the site and let's zoom out a little bit. Then we're going to go to plugins. And then we're going to add a new plugin. Now I could write this functionality from scratch, but why would I do that? Because we actually have a plugin that will assist us to do this. So we're going to add a plugin called Advanced Custom Fields. Then we're going to install it. Then we're going to activate it. And then we are going to go over here to the new tab that was created, Custom Fields. And then we're going to add a new group. So we'll just click Add New, and this new group will be, I don't know, we'll say Page Styles. Okay, there we go. And then what we'll do, what do we want to do? Here we want to choose what post type we want this to be equal to. So we'll say post type equals post because you may want to change it on post. Or if post type equals a page. So this functionality will be available for all posts and all pages. And you'll see how that works out once we get to that area. And then just some other stuff here that I'm really not going to get into, but it's just how I want the actual new addition to the content editor will look like. So that's not really important right now. So we're going to click on Add New Field, and then we'll call this, let's say, boop, 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 page background. All right. So now that we have the page background, I'm just going to use the actual, let's see, we want to use a text area. Okay, we're just going to use a text area because that's where we're going to add our code, okay, our CSS. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to copy this for now because we're going to go back to our functions file and then we're going to write the code for that. So we're going to, all right, we're all set here. So we're going to click publish. Okay, while that's publishing, not sure which page this is though. Doesn't look like, so it doesn't look like this is an actual page. So what do we do? So we need to find out what page this is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add another plugin because I don't know what page is producing this page right here, because usually I could go up here in this gray bar and then it would say like edit the page, so it's not showing it. So let's go add another plugin because I want to see which page template that actual front page is using. So we're going to click add new, and this is a really cool plugin because it'll let you know what page template inside of the actual theme is being utilized for any specific page that you're working on. So we'll click install, and then we'll just activate that. It doesn't do anything. There's no settings that need to be set up for this. So let's go back to this page and then refresh. Okay, so right up here in the top left corner you'll see it says front page. So that is our template right there. So let's go to our files and then let's look at front page. Then let's see what's going on in there, what type of code. So blah 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 blah. Ooh. So this is going to be tricky a little bit. But we can still accomplish what we need. Okay. So the front page is utilizing, looks like it's utilizing widgets right here. So let's just double check that to make sure. And the way to do that is, let's look over here and see. Yep, there it is. Home section 1 widget. Okay, so now we're running into a little bit of problem, but it's not going to be that bad. So now we have to think about, all right, if we make a change here, how are we going to apply it to this page? Okay. So what we can do is say, let's see here, where are we at? Let's see, home section 1, home even. Was it home even? Yeah, there it is, home even. Okay, so we know that we could probably do what we need to because we have this right here where it says home even, okay, which relates to the home page. So let's make an adjustment here to our custom field that we created. But before we do that, let's create a new page. Okay. And we'll call this custom styles. That's what we'll call it. Custom styles. Now there's like 100 different ways that we can do this, but we're just going to use a page and we're going to put this as, we'll say private, then okay, and privately published. Okay. Okay, so it's private, no one else will be able to see it. So now we need to go back over to custom fields, and then we're just going to apply. We're just going to delete this, and then we're going to say if page is equal to, let's see, custom styles. Okay, so that's the page we're going to be working on. So now we're going to click update, and then let's go back to our page here, pages, and where's our custom styles? So click on custom styles, and here's our styles that we're going to be working with. But since we're just utilizing this page just for styles, I want to get rid of some of this junk. Okay, I want to keep the Yoast SEO because I want to put this as a no follow. I don't want the search engines picking this up. Okay, so we'll just click on no follow, and we'll be good to go there. And then let's click update. Alright, so now let's go back to custom fields and start removing a lot of this junk that we don't need. We're just going to keep this field right here because we're only utilizing it for our styles. So let's go back to custom fields, and then let's go ahead and edit this group. So we want to, boom, let's just turn everything off because we don't need it, right? Yeah, let's just turn everything off. So what I just did right here, basically I just turned off all those other options that is in that page. So let's go back to pages and you'll see what I mean. So the only thing that should be visible is the field that we just created. So let's go to custom styles. So now it's clean. We don't have a lot of stuff to deal with besides Yoast SEO and this one right here. So we'll just move that up to the top. And all this other stuff you don't really need to worry about. So we'll just turn those off. Okay, so now there we have our page background. Okay, so since this home even, we're assuming that it's only applied to the home page. So we'll know that here in a second because after we set up our function to read this class, then we'll check the other pages just to make sure that this class isn't applied to any other pages throughout the website. Okay, but I don't think so because it's specifically named home even. Okay, so let's go back to our function file, and this is the class that we're going to target. So we're going to say home even. Okay, then we're going to get rid of this. Then we're going to start writing our PHP inside of here. PHP if, let's see. Oh, I think I did that wrong. So let's see. Boom. And I'll just set up my end if here. End if. Okay. If, let's see, get field, I believe so. That's what it's called. Boom, boom. And remember we copied that page background. So if get field page background is available, then what we're going to do is we're going to echo get field page background. Now we may need to grab the actual number of the page ID, but we're going to see if this works. I believe that we need to add the ID, but I really can't remember, and we'll just figure it out and make sure that we do it correctly. So here we go. We're saying if the get field page background is set, then we want you to echo this style, okay? But it looks like we're missing something, and I just need to take a minute and think. So let's see. Get field. Actually, we don't need. Let's see here. Okay, we don't need this. Yeah, we don't need that because we're going to be actually writing, oops, the class that's going to override it anyway. So that's going to replace all this here, and you'll see what I mean. So let's go ahead and try it and see if we are on the right track. Okay, so now it may not work because I really do believe that we need to um, use the actual page ID number, but we'll see here in a second. So let's go back to our page. Here's our page right here. So now we're just going to paste that in, home, even, then the background will be color. So we're just going to test it and see. We'll go, let's see, update. Now we're going to refine this even further because this may not be too practical because Eleanor, I know that she doesn't really want to mess with code. So we'll actually add a color picker in which she'll be able to choose the color that she wants, and then that'll be added. So we'll have to do a little bit of tweaking, and that's fine. All right, so now let's just test this and see, did we update it? Yes, we did. And here's our page that doesn't have, let's see here, F5 to refresh. Okay, so it's not taking. Let's view our source and see if we're actually sending it to the page. Okay, let's zoom in some. Let's see. Home section. Okay, I don't see our CSS being sent to our header. So I know we tested it before and it was there, so let's just see what's going on here. Doo-doo. Okay, so I'm not seeing it show up in our source, so we did something wrong. So I'm going to try and grab the actual ID of the page. So I think that's what we need to do. So we'll go copy. And when you're using custom, advanced custom fields, if the field that you want to use is outside of the WordPress loop, then you have to call it this way. So with a comma, and then there is the actual page ID. I tell you what, I'm looking at this thing and it just looks strange to me. But the code is turning out okay, so that's okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and save this. WP head, add action. Okay, all that looks good. So that style should come in here. It should. It should, it should, it should. Let's see. I may need to move this out. So let's see. And this is just the process of, just working with code and developing different functionality for the client. So, and because I'm doing this video live, a little bit distracted because my full focus isn't where it needs to be as far as the code is concerned. So, it isn't showing up, but we'll figure it out, right? Because that's what we do. Alright, so why isn't this showing up? I know we tested it, and it should be there. Alright, let's look at this again. If blah 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 blah, page background, get filled. If get filled is page background, and the page number is that. I'm going to move this out and then then put it here because I think that's where it needs to be outside of that. And then let's bang this out and then drop it right down here. I'm not really concerned on how long this is going to take before we get it sorted, but I know that the code is correct. I just, something is going weird and I just don't know where it is at this specific moment, but we will find it, I guarantee. So let's refresh this now. Let's see. Control F5. Ah, look at that. There it is. So look what's happening. It's sending us a break. It's breaking. Ah, okay. I see what's going on here. All right. So let's go back to our custom field. So it's outputting to where it needs to, but we need to go back to our custom fields because the reason why is that it's translating this information into HTML. So it's looking at each line as a break, and we don't want that. So let's go back to custom fields. I'm just going to open that in a new window so we can kind of save a little bit of time here. And then we'll go to page styles. And then let's see, we want to edit this actual field. See, look right here, convert new lines into break tags. We don't want that. No formatting. And then, oh, we don't want to add fill. We just want to update. So now let's look at this again. Control F5. All right, boom, there we go. So now if we go to this page, we should see that this background is gray. So let's go ahead and refresh. Bam, we got it sorted. So let's just test it one more time. So let's go here and then let's say background color is red. I'm going to do this real quick, Eleanor, and I'll put it back, I promise. So update, and then let's go refresh. All right, so there we go. So now we're in control. Ooh, let me turn this back. All right, so let me just delete that. Boom, because now we're actually going to go with a different solution. We're going to capitalize on what we've done here, so which is very cool. All right, so let's make sure we don't have that red background there because Eleanor would kill me. All right, boom, we're back. Okay, so now let's adjust our background here. So our background field. So instead of a text area, what we want to do is we want to use, where's my color picker? Do we have, there it is, color picker. So the default value is FFF, it looks like. Okay, we can go with that. Now, let's go ahead and update. And then let's go back here and refresh this page. Okay, so now when we choose a color, and I'm going to show you something that's not going to work because we need to actually adjust our code inside of the actual file. So nothing is going to happen here. Absolutely nothing whatsoever. We may get some funky little stuff here in this section right here. So let's just see what it output for us. It's going to look real weird because we don't have it set up right for the color picker. See what I mean? Here's the color right here, but we don't want that, right? So let's go back to our file, and then what we want to do here is we want to say background color, and then colon, and do we want to end this? Yes, we have to end this with a semicolon, right? Now I've been writing CSS all day. You think I should know this? Yes, we end it with a semicolon. Alright, so there we go. So now this background color is going to spit out that actual yellow color. So let's go ahead and refresh. Well, save, sorry. So we save that, and then we go back to the site, and then let's just refresh this page, and you should see that the background color. Come on. I'm doing a hard refresh and it's not showing for us, so let's try that again. Alright, so this is acting weird for us right now. So background color, echo the actual hexadecimal color. That should work. Now I wonder if she has caching on this site because this should be showing correctly. And it's not, so I don't like that. So let's refresh this page. I know it's not going to be yellow because it's not showing in our source. This is where we're looking right here. So let's do Control F5 again. Ah, there we go. So I just did a Control F5 to actually clear the cache. So now when we go to the site, that's going to be yellow. Okay. Whoa, how come it's not? Do I have to hard refresh here too? That's weird. It's got some weird caching going on here. Oh, you know what? You know why it's not working? Because we didn't set our actual class. See? Somebody's screaming at the screen right now and saying, hey, dude, you didn't set the background. So, boom. Now, it's going to look at home even, and then it's going to apply this background because now we have it set correctly. Okay, so we're targeting this class and we're targeting this attribute, the background color, which is going to be this color once we set it. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and save it. And then let's go back to the site. And then we're going to look here first. So I'm going to do a Control F5. So there we go. Home even background color is the yellow. So now we refresh this page. Boom, it's going to be yellow. Alright, so let's fix that. And let's just go back to default is white. Alright, and then update so we can get our site back the way it should be. Boom. Okay, now we're back on track. Alright, so now that we have that set, that's good to go. Now, what if we want an image? We can just capitalize on what we have. So let's go back to our custom fields. And then we're going to add a new field, and we'll call this, let's say, background image. Right? Boom. So now that we have that, we will see. I don't like that they have the background color because anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to even get into all that. So from here we want to choose a different field. We're going to choose, where is it? Where are you? Where are you? And let's say, yeah, we'll use image. Okay. And then from the image we want to use the image URL. Okay. And then we'll click on update. So now when we refresh this page, you should see another section under here that says background image. So let's refresh. And there it is. There's our image. And then when we pop that open, it'll open up our actual WordPress image selector, right? Either select from the media library or you can upload files. So let's just close out of that right now. Now, working with background images, it can be a pain in the booty because it's just it takes there's a lot of attributes that you have to consider, but I'm not going to get into the CSS part of it because I'll just do that in the background later. But I just want to show you how we can set this up so that we can have an image in there as well. So let's go ahead and set up our function. So here we'll go background image, and it's going to be URL, and then we'll close that off, and then we're just going to copy this PHP right here, and then slap it in there. And this is going to be, what did we call that? Let's go ahead and get our ID for our field. It's called background image. So let's copy that. Come on now. So we'll copy that, and then we'll paste it right in here. Okay, bam. So now this is going to be kind of weird. We have to actually, if get field page background da 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 da, we're going to have to write another if statement, because if we don't, well, we may be able to get away with it. Let's see. Let's see if we need to. Let's see what shows up. Because what I'm thinking here is that we may need to write another if statement for the actual background image. And I do believe that I can take these out of here and then move those back down, because it should work perfectly. So we just apply this if statement to the actual background color, and then apply this to the ending if right there. Right? Yeah, that works. So yeah, I'm just going to set it up because it doesn't hurt to write an if statement here, because I don't want to have to come back, and this is just a safe way of saying, hey, if there isn't one, then just don't output anything. Okay, so now we're good. So we'll go background image. There we go. If this field is populated with an image that's set to that field, then we want to echo it out. Okay, bam, there we go. So we have a background image URL. If it's set, then output the actual image. Now, there's a bunch of more stuff we could write in here, because with images, we want to say if, let's say, background, I'm just going to write it now, background size. Let's see, we can say cover. There's different attributes you can use here. You just have to make sure you choose the one that works for you. And we'll say minimum height. We'll say, I don't know, let's see, 1,000 pixels maybe. Yeah, so let's just write out all the code, and then we'll say background repeat, and we'll say no repeat, and then boom, we're all set up here. See, but this right here, all of this, the background image, it won't be output unless we set it up in the actual new function that we set up for this actual functionality, right? The page that we set the styles page. I forgot what I called it. So what did we call that page? We said custom styles. Okay. So none of this will be output unless we actually add an image to it. Okay. All right. Now, I mean, there's so much we can do here. There's so many different possibilities. I could say if the background image exists, then don't show this at all. All right. Don't even show the color, because we don't want the color showing up, especially if it was a different color. But it's okay. It's only white, and that's fine for now, but we can always capitalize on this later. Let's see, I got my minimum height wrong here. I'm glad I caught that. Boom, set 1,000 pixels. Let's save it. All right, so that's all saved. Now let's go back to our site, and let's add an image and see what it looks like. So let's see. Boom. Oh, here's a nice pretty image. And it's a very, very nice size too, 1280 by 800. So that's a really good size. It'll actually do what we need it to do. It'll cover that area really, really cool. So let's go ahead and click select. Okay, and then we will update. Now let's look at our code here. I'm gonna go Control F5. So there we go. We have our image. The background is going to cover everything, and the minimum height is 1000, and the background repeat none. So let's check out the actual page and see what we have. Click refresh. So there's our image right there. That's pretty funky. So let's get rid of that because I don't want anyone going to the site right now. That's all jacked. So basically, maybe to choose a lighter image of sort, and I have it covering the whole container. But I'm curious to see if what we could do if we were to say if the background size was 100%. It may do the same thing for us because cover and 100% for the most part sometimes they act the same, and I still struggle with those sometimes, so I have to figure out which one works best. So let's try this again and see what we come up with. Let's choose the lighter image here and see. Well, actually, I want to choose this one again because I want to see how it shows up, because from this test, we'll know if we need to use cover or 100%. So let's go ahead and select that and then update. And let's go ahead and refresh this one more time. So it's 100%. And then let's look at our page. It's still going to be kind of dark because, okay, see, that looks pretty good there. See, but look what's happening, right? It's not going down the entire page, right? So what does that tell us? Oh, look, it's actually applying. Why is it applying down here too? So this is some weird stuff going on. Why is it applying to this section right here? So that's something that needs to be addressed as well. So it looks like we have two sections that is taking the same attributes, and that's not really cool. Anyway, let's get rid of this, and then we'll see why that is doing what it does. Let's go ahead and update, and let's get rid of this right now. So where did we see that? We saw that down here. We saw it after this, and we saw it in this section. So, oh, you know why? I can tell you why. Because this is an even section. So anything we apply even will have that effect. So what we need to do is change this to, let's see here. Oh man, see, this is some of the fallacies that you run into when you are doing this type of development, because you don't really know what you're going to run into. So I guess we can target the actual home even home section too. That will be better for us. So I'm just going to copy that and then go back to our function. Then we're just going to concatenate this so that it applies only to the second section. So that will work for us. So now let's do another test, and let's go ahead and refresh this and make sure we've gotten rid of all of that stuff. So Control F5. Okay, so home section 2 is white. Okay, I want to test this though to make sure that it is indeed white. So let's just give it a little bit lighter color. Let's see, something like that. Then hit update, and then let's check it out here and see if we have a little bit of grayish color. Okay, so this section is kind of gray. Now let's go down to that one section. Okay, boom. So we solved that problem. And then we'll just check it again. So let's just clear that. So the default obviously is going to be white because that's what we set up before. Let's just double check. Make sure this becomes white again. Well, this background section. Go ahead and update. Okay, boom, we're back on track. Now let's test it with the image and see what we have. Okay, what do we have here? Ooh, this is a cool looking dude right here. Oh, what about those guys? Nice size, love it. So let's go ahead and select that image and then hit update. And then let's check it out. We want to make sure that it's only on this first section. Hit update. Refresh. Alright, boom. We're looking good. Let's see, we still have that problem with the image not going all the way down. So that's something we're going to have to sort out. But it's not showing on this other even section. So we solved that problem. So the only thing that needs to be worked out now is the actual image covering the entire background here, the entire width. So let's see if we could do something like auto. Let me get rid of that image first. And then let's update it. I don't think auto is going to work. We may want to do height. I mean, height 100%. Hopefully that works. Yeah, let's see, 100%. So if it's 100%, that means it's going to stretch along with the content. Hopefully. That's our hope, right? That's what we hope for. So let's make sure that image is gone. It should be, because we just took it out and updated it. Okay, groovy. Now, let's go back again and see. Let's try to add that image and see if it stretches all the way down for us. So hopefully we've solved that problem. Let's choose this image. Nice size, 1280 by 756. And it's going to go ahead and select. I bet you we need to use cover in this instance. So let's see here. Update it. Refresh the page. 100%. Look at that. So why is it just stopping here? Oh, because the image itself is 756 pixels. So I'm going to make this quick change real quick. I'm going to say cover. Okay. Oh, no. We don't want to do that. Background size, cover. So it's going to cover the entire container, width and height. So save it. And then we're going to refresh this page. So it should, yeah, see, but here's the problem, right? It's so big. So we'll have to choose an image. If she wants to use images, then we're gonna have to make some adjustments here because we just can't utilize it this way, because so it's gonna have to be some type of like a sunset or something with a focal point and not too much images. So I know she's watching this now, so anyway, let's get rid of that. I'm gonna update that, and I'll be discussing that with her too and let her know what her options are. So there we go. We got that sorted. And yeah, that's it. So that's how you create, added functionality to your website when, you feel like you don't have any more control. You just utilize different tools to get the result that you want. I don't need this one open anymore either. And there you go. You can see I just used one plugin that let me add all the functionality that I needed, and now we're good to go. So now she's all set up and ready to go. So we're going to have a conversation about it, and then she's going to let me know what she thinks, and then we could just make adjustments from there. Cool. Thank you guys for watching. I know it was pretty long, but I'm sure you're going to learn something from this video. It's going to get you to thinking and, spinning the wheels in your head on all of the possibilities and that you can do with WordPress. And not a whole bunch of tools, just minimum amount of tools to get the result that you want. Cool. This is Wayne Hatter. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check me out at Your WP Made Simple, and also check out my membership site, members.yourwpmadesimple.com, and just come hang out with me, and I'll teach you guys whatever you need to know so that you can keep moving forward and be a success in what you're trying to accomplish with your WordPress website, because that's what it's all about. So on that note, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.